here at Discover, Love and Revive, we really appreciate so much the contribution of Raila Amolo Odinga to what Kenya has become. We acknowledge every good thing that he has brought, from the freedom of speech that I'm going to express today in this video, to everything that he has sacrificed himself, the number of times he spent, the amount of years that got wasted when he was spending time in jail for the sake of our country. And this is not to demean those things that he did. It is just a criticism that is, I would just call it a critique, which is basically because of the circumstances that we have at the moment in the country. So this is not to try and minimize the things, the good things, the fight he has put up against the system that has tried so hard to make sure Kenyans are not getting to where they're supposed to be. This is not to do that. It is just a healthy criticism that we need to take very positively. So I am trying to address this issue because I think the stand of Raila at the moment has really confused a lot of his supporters, myself included, And this
direct magazeti hawa naandika sijui nini Raila na Ruto handshake, hakuna handshake.
Someone who has joined them is Raila Odinga, a man who is your ally. Can we safely call him that?
He is my friend and ally. He is my friend and ally.
Right.
And has
and
he
so
really joined them? Has he joined them? Has he joined them? Every time I'm hearing him, he's saying we have no handshake.
Mimi sijaingia kwa serikali. Hatuko kubaliana na Ruto ati tuwe na serikali mseto. Hatuna mseto. We don't have a coalition government. Alikuwa nataka watu, nikamwambia watu, chukua hawa watu kama unataka wakusaidie. Lakini sisi hatujawekana, ni bado hatujawekana huko.
Go. The body said this is a skunk. He has now joined the skunk. And you are saying the skunk must go. So body, Joho, Mparanya, Wadai, rafiki yangu. Sasa wameingia kwa
They all must go. Does that extend to Raila Odinga?
Hata yeye mwenyewe kama ameingia pandio, si hata yeye wana Kenya wenyewe wanasema must go. Sinaona hashtag.
Yes.
Ruto Raila must go. Who am I?
There's no coalition with ODM. I don't know. Does he have one?
Said no.
Does he have 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
You tell us. He's your friend.
His minority leader. That's the opposition. Then he has somebody in government. Has he got both feet? Why is he got both feet everywhere? Why? Has he really joined them?
Have you asked him?
Or is he making sure that he can jump out whenever he wants?
Ground, the optics were wrong. And the entire political, because you see now, as you guys call him, Zakayo, he's created this image among the people that politicians lie and politicians can't be trusted. So even when we're told it's only one party out of the whole Azimio fraternity and stuff, to us on the ground, it's like the entire political class has betrayed us. And there has to be a really big move from the political class, from the opposition, to assert themselves. If they are the majority, I don't know now, those are their internal party things. But yeah, the optics have been wrong. And I think they've been caught up in their collateral damage to the ending of the political class, sadly. But that's my opinion.
That before an uprising, because of things like debt default, William Ruto will want everybody to be in his sinking ship so that the masses do not have an alternative voice. He's just invited people into a sinking ship. We were already united, and we are united in pain, economic pain. I haven't heard anyone, including himself, anyone talk about how they are solving our economic pain. Hakuna. So please, we are still united in that economic pain, right? They can do what they want up there. But I can assure you, they are in a sinking ship and Kenyans will not join them.
This is where I stand when I look at it as a supporter of him and as a follower for a very long time. For the 4 times that he has been running for elections, I always looked up to him to be the person that will make Kenya a country where we can get a job, a country where we can be able to live the dream, the heaven that we keep praying for every single day. So I have always looked up to that. But I think the stand that he has taken in 2024 has been very confusing, not just to me, but to so many supporters and his followers as well. So, first and foremost, for the first time, Raila Amolo Odinga yesterday had an opportunity to speak and tell his side of the story. And he did that very well in Rift Valley. So what is really confusing about it is that at some point, he says he's in the government. At some other point, he says he's in the opposition. And this is where the confusion comes in. One cannot be in the government and in the opposition at the same time. He keeps acknowledging William and he keeps saying, oh, we work together with William. He wants to make it look like him and William Ruto are not enemies. Of course, we know that, and we knew that for a very long time. And we know that, and we've always known that politicians meet and speak. They talk, they dine, and they meet in many places. But when they come out, they are always portraying, they always have that show of division so that they could capture the minds and confuse all the followers so that they can continue to have their following like strong for themselves. So when he was narrating the story yesterday, he spoke about Uhuru calling him, and then him being called by William Ruto, and them having a conversation and coming to the agreement that these people, the reasons why the Gen Zs and millennials were in the streets, or Gen Zote, was because of bad governance. And it was simply because the CSS that had been given the positions had been nominated by William Ruto were incompetent, you know. And so he said that very conveniently, and apparently Ruto now told him, okay, please give me some of your experts. And he actually donated 4 party members who are very prominent, well-spoken, who can communicate very well to the citizens of Kenya, and they all found themselves in William Ruto's government. And wow, that sounded very convenient. There is one thing that he said. I mean, he of course, he stated a number of reasons why the messages that he got, like the message he himself got, or he understood from the Gen Zs, why they were in the streets. And he stated tribalism, he talked about issues pertaining good governance and accountability. And then he finally ended by saying, we need a dialogue. When I listened to Raila's speech, I felt definitely he was targeting some specific people that he wanted to speak to. I am not sure he was targeting the Gen Zs and millennials. I think he was targeting a particular audience. And when he spoke about dialogue as well, I think he was telling some people, because of course, what Gen Zs and millennials are saying, we've been held hostage enough. They uncovered a lot of things during the demonstrations. A lot of things came up, information was all over the place, and people are now well informed about what is going on. And people now understand that the political class are basically holding Kenyans hostage, you know. And so that is what people gathered. People gathered that dialogue is what Raila is talking about. But who are these people that are supposed to dialogue? Because the common person, the common mwananchi has already spoken out and said, we don't feel like when we dialogue that we get anything out of it. And that is very clear to everybody. Now, when Raila comes out and says we need to dialogue, I believe he's targeting the political class. And he's telling them that they really need to dialogue. Because who divides Kenyans exactly along tribal lines? It is the politicians. Without the politicians, Kenyans live in peace. Without the politicians using tribe as a tool to campaign, as a tool to ask for allocation of resources, as a tool to give employment. They've institutionalized tribalism to the extent that it has become a very big problem. The constitution is there and it states categorically how we should be able to solve this problem of tribalism. So why do we need a dialogue? And that is what Gen Zs have been asking. Why then do we need a dialogue to talk about how we should resolve tribalism? Now, why also do we need dialogue to talk about corruption? Corruption is simple theft of public resources. Why do we need a dialogue to negotiate why somebody should not be arrested or somebody? What kind of dialogue exactly is it going to be, by the way? That is the question, the big question. Because if it's about creating more laws, it's about creating more things, it's not really easy to keep conversing, producing a lot of laws, producing papers, acts, bills, things that are never implemented. If that is the conversation, I don't think that conversations warrants any form of dialogue. I don't think any resources needs to be pumped into that particular docket of dialogue. But there is a solution here. The political class can sit down and dialogue. The religious leaders and the political class can set Kenyans free. They can dialogue how they can do that and do it as quickly as possible. Because these are the same people that keep using the resources of Kenyans to benefit themselves and to protect their interests. So if they can do that dialogue among themselves and let Kenyans know what they have resorted to, then that would be very important. Because of course it's not to mean that Kenyans don't want to be involved, but the fact that they want Kenyans to negotiate with them, because that is what it exactly means. Come negotiate with us what you want. Come tell us what you want in a round table. It doesn't work that way. It is as simple as follow the law. And that is what the millennials and Gen Zs have been talking about. So my own people, just have a look at this video and Raila's conversation and let me know what you think about what is said.
Sasa ile nchi inachomeka, Uhuru ndiye alinipiga mimi simu. Uhuru akaniambia mimi tafuta Bwana Ruto ongea na yeye. Kenya ikichomeka hatakuwa na nchi nyingine. Mpaka hii tuzime hii moto, watu waketi chini waendelee waliwane. William ndiye akanitafuta. Na mimi nikaongea na yeye wazi kabisa. Mimi unajua mambo yangu, mimi sifichagi mambo. Na mimi sijaingia kwa serikali. Hatuko kubaliana na Ruto atitue na serikali mseto. Hatuna mseto. We don't have a coalition government. Alikuwa nataka watu, nikamwambia watu chukua hawa watu kama unataka wakusaidie. Lakini sisi hatujawekana, ni bado hatujawekana huko. Kuna handshake. Kale tulisema, mimi niliongea na Ruto nikamwambia shida iko hapa. Hawa watu yako ambao wameweka pale hawajafanya kazi vile wananchi wanataka. Wananchi wameudhika, ndio naona hawa sasa vijana wamejitokeza. Na vijana wakaniambia mimi, wewe baba kaa nyumbani. Usitoke, umefanya ya kutosha. Wache sisi tuendelee. Sasa hawa vijana sio wenda wazimu. Nataka hii maneno yatutuliwe. Hawa watu ambao wameweka pale yote hawajafanya kazi sawa sawa. Ndio sababu hasira iko nyingi namna hii. Na tena hawa askari yako wanatumia nguvu zaidi. Wanapiga watu risasi, watu ambao hawana silaha. Watu wanafanya majeraha namna hii. Kuna wengi wako kwa hospitali na kadhalika. Hiyo inazidi kuleta hasira zaidi. Sasa hapa askari waache mambo ya kutumia risasi. Usuri ya kwamba watu waketi chini waongee. Akasikia mimi hii cabinet nitatoa, nitawapeleka nyumbani. Nikasema hata hao makatibu ambao wako pale wako chafu yote, usafishi wote, ili tukiwe na mwanzo mpya. Lakini mzuri zaidi watu wawe